So hello, this is the Everything Goes podcast with Gus. Today I have Heidi as my guest. How you doing, Heidi?
Good, Gus. How are you doing?
So we're starting this over again. We started talking and this is the second take. What is the American dream? That's the topic today. We come from two different worlds. Two different backgrounds. We obviously have two different takes on what the American dream is. What is your American dream, Heidi?
My American dream is financial freedom, being able to leave this world, showing my kids the world. I would love to travel with them because I feel that's a better experience to leave them that memory versus a home that I feel they could purchase on their own if that's what they want when they grow up. That's my American dream. The concept has changed, obviously, now that I'm an adult. But the concept of an American dream when I was younger was different. It was my family came from Central America, from El Salvador, and they established here in California, and they've worked all their lives. Some of them are business owners, and that's the concept I grew up. I grew up with. Being business owners was the American dream.
Yeah.
But for me, it's not. For me, it's totally different.
Okay. So the American dream for me, and before I even go into that, I'm just going to say that I did forget to say that this is a sensitive topic, sensitive subject, because everybody has their own opinion and their own ways or their own views. And these are just our opinions. So going back to my American dream and how I remember, or what I thought was the American dream, to have a big house, a wife and kids, some money, some cars, nice cars. And as I've grown up, I think my American dream hit me in the face because, as you know, it's a dream and it's a hard one to accomplish that as an immigrant. I was not born in this country. I am an American citizen, so I've struggled. I've seen the bads and the goods of this country, and I love this country. My dreams, little by little, they've happened, from getting married, having my kids, and financial stability somewhat. So I think I'm living the American dream. I'm not all the way there because I still don't own my house, but that's still a dream. Now, this is where it becomes very sensitive because everybody's American dream is different. And we talked about it. What is the concept of the American dream if most of us, or some of the issues that are going on today in today's America, is happening around us? In California, and it's usually the border states are the ones that's going on. Obviously, I'm biased towards the immigration topic, and we have to talk about that. We're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about a little bit about what we think about what's going on with the undocumented immigrants, about just living or trying to live the American dream. So let's go back to your American dream now, Heidi. Mm-hmm. You said the concept. Did you talk about, has your American dream changed at all?
Yes, definitely. So the concept that I had growing up is completely different to what I see it as now as an adult. The concept, as I mentioned before, was, some family members of mine, including my mom, are business owners, and that was their American dream.
Yeah.
Homeowners, they have homes. Perfect, amazing. More pros because they are single women. Yeah. My mom's a single mom, so I'm proud of her for all the accomplishments she has done here in the United States as an immigrant, and then now, she's a citizen and everything. And me as a firstborn here generation, my concept of American dream is different. My concept is more to find financial freedom, to be happy and to help the community with my money.
Okay. Well, now that you brought that up, let's talk about the little bit of differences between your background and my background. You grew up a little bit with a little bit more money than I did.
I would say Um, Privileged.
Okay.
More privileged than you.
Yeah.
For sure. Um, so I mean, you want to start with you and then.
So how do you see the world? Because I mean, everybody's view or the way you were brought up is different.
Mhm.
So the reason I ask you that question is depending on how you were brought up, basically. Because, like you said, you had it easier financially than I did. I see the struggle. I saw the not having the money where I lived, and when I said I lived till I was a teenager there. So I remember living with roaches and stuff like that, not having the what other kids had. So I saw that, and that molded me to the way I think now. So now, how do you see the immigration or the American dream? Did that mold the way you saw the American dream? Did that mold or did that change the way your thought process?
Well, yes, because like I said, I have so I have a big family, but the reason why I speak in in generalization,
Yeah.
is because I wasn't just raised by my mom.
Okay.
I was raised by her sisters too. So to me, they molded me too.
Yeah.
So therefore, not all of them are business owners. Some of them are, and some of them aren't. But regardless of the fact, if my mom wasn't able to provide, she had her sisters to provide.
Mm.
So it was a team effort.
Okay.
They all helped each other out
Okay.
to raise me and to raise their children too.
Yeah.
So some of them, including my mom, when she came here, she cleaned houses for a living for a very long time. Then the opportunity came in, and then, she was able to work in the restaurant industry. She learned the ins and outs, and then she was able to become a restaurant owner with her sisters. Again, always a team effort till this day. Her sisters are involved.
Yeah.
So I just remember my mom always telling me, you need to work hard. You need to work hard because nothing is given to you in this country. You need to work hard. You need to know what you want in order for you to give instructions to your employees when you have a business of your own. So I want to say that for me, again, this is me. My cousins might, if they hear this episode, they might have a different perspective. But for me, my mom always told me I needed to have a entrepreneur or a business owner mentality.
Okay.
Don't work for others. Work for yourself. So that's where I would say, yes, the American dream did change my perspective in that aspect, because in a sense, you and I have kind of like bump heads, because as soon as I graduated, you were like, okay, now you got to go find a job.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I am going to find a job that I'm going to create under my rules. I'm not going to work under other people's rules.
No.
So the whole point, to answer the question that you asked, has the American dream perspective changed me from then till now? Yes, it has.
No.
I would say more being independent, not to rely on others.
Yeah.
And then.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you say that, because everything you said is basically what my parents were doing. They were working hard. It's just I don't know how some and I think that's the thing with the American dream. You come to the United States and be what you want to be.
Yes.
As long as you work hard. And I mean, your family did very great business wise. My family didn't know anything about business. And I think that's one of the reasons we come from two different backgrounds. Same concept, working hard, two different backgrounds on the work thing. My parents are more like the laborers, where your parents more the business people. But same work. That's all they thought about. Now growing up, not having that much money meant not thinking about school as often. School was not as important as surviving, as thinking of having material stuff. I never thought about material stuff. I didn't grow up like that. So that's where I think my American dream was a little different. It started to look a little bleak growing up in the inner parts of LA. You don't really think about it as I look back. I don't remember even thinking of what's gonna happen after school, after high school, or after graduating, or after stuff like that. I never even had dreams. I think as a kid, as a young kid, you have dreams. Yeah, I want to do this, I want to do that, but making them is it's just a little harder. How do I go about starting or doing stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where you had the financial, the support. I had to go support my family. That meant go find a job.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where it all distorted for me. I still had the basic concept of having the American dream, working hard and all that, but it was hard. It was still hard. And I think that's where I think from me, if I start looking at the way the American dream is through my eyes, I feel a little bitter because I saw other kids at the time, teenagers, having a good life, good shoes, good clothes, video games, toys, even through high school. I had to save my money. I couldn't go out and eat corals and just the basic stuff that these teenage kids were doing. I couldn't do. I had to save my pennies, my dollar bills. I had to hustle. And I say hustle, I was doing some hustling. I was doing homeworks. Like I told you, I was.
You would draw.
I would draw.
You would sell beepers.
I was selling beepers. Yeah, all that. I bought my first car, cutting hair.
Mm-hmm. You would cut hair.
I would cut hair. I was hustling. That's all I thought about. So that was my American dream. Working. I thought that working was gonna make my American dream happen, and somewhat it has, but I'm still not fulfilled. Luckily for me, I landed in a good job because I was working. It's not because I used my head.
Your brain.
Yeah, because that's what I forgot. The other American dream that most people have coming to this country is having an education. And I felt like I wasn't given a proper chance to prosper on that because it was always about just surviving.
Yes, I understand that. You know, when we've elaborated on this conversation.
Yeah.
Amongst each other in private. But yes, I think it's very unfortunate on your end that your family didn't support education.
Yeah, but because they didn't know any better.
Yes.
They didn't have any education.
And I think now you as a parent, you think different because you don't want your kids to go through what you've been through.
Yeah, I don't want my kids going through what I've been through.
Yeah, you tell them all the time, I want you to use your brain versus your, physical labor, which is what you do.
Yeah. So I think that's the way I look at the American dream. I'm still living the American dream. I don't take anything for granted. I don't. As a matter of fact, it kind of bothers me when I see, how would I say, people born in this country and they don't take advantage of a lot of the stuff that as an American
you're privileged with.
Yeah. Some people have money. Some people have they don't have to pay for their schooling. They go to some nice schools where I didn't grow up like that. And some of these people didn't take advantage of that. I wish I would have had those opportunities. That's why I said I was a little bitter growing up. So I pledged myself that I was going to work hard and do things different. And I'm still doing things different. But I think that's two different views of what the American dream is. Come here, work hard, make something of yourself, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And live life. Live happily ever after. And that's what I think that we're still living. I think our American dream it's not fully there yet. It's there, but there's more coming, I think. So going back to that topic of obviously I came here as an immigrant, like most of us, like America was made of. So bringing that topic in, because America was made of immigrants. How do you feel about what's going on in today's America about immigrants? The reason I bring that up, and I know it's a touchy subject, is illegal aliens, how the government has named them or now criminals, because that's what they're called now. If they get caught, I think they're criminals coming over. These people just want the American dream. What do you think about that? I know it's a touchy subject, and I know everybody has a point of view, but what do you think?
I think it's inhumane. I think it's very inhumane the way the United States government is acting upon the whole situation. I feel there's no need of having them here in cages, the children especially. If they get caught, just send them back. Again, I am not very educated on this subject.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that I'm ignorant about, and I choose the word ignorant because I mean, we're in 2019 and everything is online, and everything's at the tip of my fingers if I want to learn more about the, in this case, immigration, what's the ins and the outs of it. But sometimes it's just too devastating to hear and to see on the news and the social media of the things that's going on, that sometimes, I'm going to admit it, it's just easier to look away, because sometimes I just get so emotionally invested that it's so drainful of the unfairness that these humans, they are humans, they're not animals, not even animals should be treated that way, are going through. It's not fair.
Yeah.
They're really coming here from all over the world, not just Hispanics, from all over the world for a little bit of peace, for a little bit of hope, and for somebody to have the authority and tell them they have no right on that hope, on that dream, on that last breath that they could take without being, nervous or scared of their own shadow.
Yeah.
It's just wrong. So I don't agree the way the United States is handling it. What's the proper way? I don't know. Again, I'm ignorant to the whole situation. But to me, it's just send them back home.
Yeah. See, now that's that's deep. Like I tell you, I'm very biased towards this because I'm an immigrant. And who am I to tell somebody that wants to come and live the American dream, or have even the chance to have the American dream? Who am I to stop them? And this is one of the things I hear all the time, and some of the things our president says about illegal immigrants or people coming over, that they're rapists, that they're criminals. Yes, there is some bad apples in there, but not everybody is bad. Not everybody's bad. Some of them come to work, try to live a better life than what they have. You hear people say, well, they're coming over to take our jobs. It's hard when you know that some of these immigrants get paid less than minimum wage. They get basically abused from bosses. They work some of the hardest jobs out there that most Americans wouldn't do. So they're doing jobs that we wouldn't want to do. Who am I to tell them you can't come here and work hard? Because I was an immigrant. I guarantee you and I have family members that are illegal immigrants here. Who am I to tell them to go back to their country? Matter of fact, I tell everybody this because I hear this all the time. Why not send them back, or why don't we just like the government saying close, put up a border? It's not just that. It's not that easy. I don't even know how to put it into words. What I see in pictures of on the news, with families being separated, kids here, parents there. You see the pictures of how cramped up there in the fences or behind the fences there in these facilities.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard. I'm a parent. I wouldn't want my kids, thrown in behind a cage, behind a fence. Matter of fact, behind a fence, given one of those little blankets with 300 other people all cramped up. It's hard. It's hard to see those pictures, and that's what I say. Who am I? Who am I to stop these people from coming over and trying to live the American dream? That's the way I feel. I don't know. It's touchy. I hear some bad stuff. I hear it from my own family members. Matter of fact, this is what I tell some of the people that tell me that, when I hear that from my own people, and I say, you know what? I can't just forget where I came from. I can't. I can't look a blind eye just because I'm here now. I could have been one of those people. I can't be one of those people. I just because I'm here don't mean I could like, oh well, I'm here and you're there. I'm not like that. Maybe I have too much of a heart, but I'm not like that. And I get it. Some of these people are criminal. There is. The government says MS-13 here and MS-13 there. They it's on the news all the time. But it's not just Salvadorians, Mexicans. It's Central America. There's countries out there in South America that are coming up here. There's people coming in boats. You don't hear that. But when it comes to the southern border, you hear a lot of bad stuff.
Yes, there's a lot of European that are coming here, immigrants. There's a lot of Asians too. It's not just Hispanics, it's the entire world. So it is sad to see everything that's going on, at those what is it called, retention camps,
detention,
or detention,
something like that.
What they're, and then allegedly all the things that the news are saying, that there's children being raped, molested.
They're dying in there too. They're getting sick and dying.
And they're thirsty, and then they have to drink out of the toilet.
Yeah, there's no water, no food. They don't have the essentials.
I mean, you're already like messing them up psychologically.
Yeah.
That's why I don't understand the need for keeping them there.
I think one of the reasons is that these people don't want to be sent back. So what they do is they review their cases, and that's why they're staying there.
But at that point, it's not their choice of what. It's not. Oh, I don't want to go back. It's not your choice. I mean, you rather stay here, eat crap,
yeah,
or you want to go back home, and then maybe in the next one you get lucky.
So this is where I play devil's advocate, because obviously where I stand on this subject. But what do you say to somebody that paid $10,000 to just make it to the border? You don't want to just get sent back right away.
You say nothing. It's once you, I'm assuming, I don't know. It's easier said than done, right?
Yeah.
Because I've never been in that situation, but I'm assuming as a person that you want to come over to the U.S. and you pay $10,000, $15,000, I don't know how much, thousands of dollars they pay. They know the risk that they're taking because they have nothing else.
Yeah.
They have nothing else to fall back on.
Yeah. Yeah, and it sucks. It sucks to me. I saw this picture that kind of, oh man, it broke my heart. I'm thinking it's on the CNN picture, where is this young father with his 2-year-old, 3-year-old daughter hanging from behind his back or something, and they drown crossing the river. And that just broke my heart, man, because it tells you what these people are willing to do to come and get a piece of the American dream. And that broke my heart, man. I'm sorry, because I'm telling you, like, who am I to stop these people from living it? I'm living my American dream, and then maybe I have a heart where maybe too much. I don't know, but it hurts to see that, because my family came here as immigrants. Some of them came here illegally. They're citizens now, but they came like that, illegally. I'm pretty sure we all have family. If you live in California and you're Hispanic, I guarantee you there's some people there, friends, family, that that have come here illegally. And it sucks, because I know some of my friends that are illegally here, and they're hard workers, man. Hard workers.
They have 2 to 3, 4 jobs.
Yeah. One friend specifically. That dude works all day long.
Yep.
All day long. And it sucks to see that. It sucks to see that. I wish. I'm telling you, like, I know it's not everybody. It's not going to happen. And I know it's hard. And I know that not everybody can live that life. The majority of the people are going to get sent back. That's the reality. But it's the chance that just come over, cross the border, start working, and get a little bit of taste of what it is to live here. To them, that's that's their dream. This is something that I kind of told you earlier. Their dream is just to come over, work, provide food, send money back home, provide provide for their families. Some of them here, and that's it. Not everybody's a damn criminal.
Exactly. But then also, what's the solution? Because believe it or not, we are getting overpopulated over here.
Yeah.
I mean, it like you mentioned at the beginning of this episode, it's a very sensitive subject. Sometimes you're just like, you don't even know anymore what's right, you know, or the solution. Is there even a solution? I don't know.
Do they have one? Does the government have one? It just is it just grabbing them and just throwing them back to their countries? Is that the solution?
I don't know, but like the big question is, each country needs to take care of their own people. What's the number one reason why are the citizens like, okay, we're Salvadorian. So let's just stick to El Salvador. Why are Salvadorians coming over here?
Well, the lack of infrastructure, too many gangs, too much criminals. That's it. Gangs are taking over there. It's a lot of crime. Yeah.
Okay, so then to prevent their people, the citizens of El Salvador, I guarantee you they love their country.
Yeah.
El Salvador is a very little small country in Central America, but it's very beautiful. It's a very beautiful country, and the culture as well. So I don't know why what the government needs to do in order to fix it.
Yeah.
In order to fix it. And right now, the new president from El Salvador, Nayib, he's taking care of it. He cleaned the house completely. And hopefully he keeps on doing the right thing to help his people, to help all Salvadorians.
It's easier said than done because, you know,
Of course.
The history of that country has America all over it. I don't want to go into that, but it's just a country with a lot of civil war, just like other third world countries, I want to say. And those are the reasons that people leave their countries, because they want to go to a country where there is no war. America has no war here. They're at war somewhere else. We're at war with somebody else, but we're not at war in our country. I don't know if you understand that. Usually when we go out to war, we go to other countries. Mm-hmm. America itself and the American land, there's no war here. We have crime, and they're blaming the majority of it to the immigrants, but I don't know. It's a sensitive subject. Now, let's get away a little bit about the immigrant, because we could be talking about the immigration and the illegal aliens and all that stuff all day. The American dream also means having an education. What do you think about education now, Heidi? Because you're a recent college graduate. Mm-hmm. You're a recent college graduate, and you know that college is so damn expensive now. Mm-hmm. So damn expensive now, and it's gone up and it's going up. So the reason I'm asking you this question is because you just graduated. It's because you had to pay. Mm-hmm. You had no financial aid. So most Americans, students just college students in general, when they graduate, they have this bunch of loans. They're in debt of their ass sometimes, 40,000 deep, sometimes more. They're paying that throughout their lifetime. What do you think about that? Is it going to be part of the American dream?
Education will always be there. It's essential. I believe it's essential. Even if you don't graduate with from college or university, even if you go to a trade school, you're always going to need education. Yeah. That's why when people say, "Oh, I don't believe in education," what do you mean? Even if you work as an associate somewhere in retail or whatever, you always get trained. Mm-hmm. And some of them, they send you to training school. So no matter what, you get trained. That's an education right there. Yeah. That the company's investing in you. So education will always be there. It's a fair, again, from a paying out of pocket. Is it fair? You know, I'm a U.S. citizen and I had to pay out of pocket because I didn't qualify, you know, quote unquote, the standards versus somebody that you know that is on DACA or something.
Yeah.
They get financial help. No, it's not fair. It's fucked up, I think.
Do they get help?
Yes. They get financial aid. And then there's a lot of people that are citizen or not, they get FAFSA, they get financial aid assistance, and they cheat the system.
Yeah. But that's everybody. I know people that are American citizens that cheat the system.
There's a lot of people that cheat the system in this country, and that's the reason why sometimes, you know, we're in a deep hole as well as the country alone.
And the state. But let's stay on the aspect of education, and specifically college, because, like I said, a lot of people, don't have that help, don't have financial backing of a parent, don't have a financial aid. They have to do it on their own. They have to work a couple jobs. They have to get a couple of loans, and after they're done with school, they come out with so much debt. And that's where I think some of the questions they ask: is it longer? Is it the American dream still alive in the education world? Because it's so expensive now. You see it every year. They're gonna raise tuition. They're gonna raise class or whatever. They're gonna raise something. It always comes up. What do you think about that?
I do believe that education is gonna be there, because if that's the case, if education is extinct, then there's gonna be no doctors, you know, no specialists in every aspect, you know, lawyers, physical therapists, dentists. I mean, education, it's essential. It's always going to be there. It's been here for so many years.
Okay, no, I understand that education is very important. I'm talking about the financial aspect. Is it worth it? That's what people are saying. That is it worth paying all that much money? Because when you graduate,
well, sometimes you have no choice. You either go for it, get that big old loan, and become a doctor, or become an accountant, or become a nutritionist, or even a teacher.
No.
Or you work at, and there's no wrong by me saying this, or you work at Walmart, McDonald's.
Yeah.
You choose.
Yeah. So basically you're saying either you take, if you don't have the money and can't go to school, take that loan out and go to school and then owe money, or just stay working at a entry-level job, basically.
Yes, because honestly, at the end of the day, if you commit to it and you succeed, you're going to be able to pay for it.
Eventually, a couple years down the road.
Yes, but you're going to be able to pay for it. Yeah. There's doctors that are doctors, very wealthy. They still, till this day, 20 years later, they're still making their payments. But they're well off. Yeah. They're okay. So, I mean, you choose. I think to each their own. Everybody has a different perspective. Some people just don't like school. Yeah. And it's okay. And they do well opening a shop, a tire shop. But again, they need the field education in that place. I cannot go there and be like, hey, can you guys hire me? I don't even know how to change a tire.
Yeah. Well, now that you brought that up, owning your own business, that's another one too. Everybody wants to be wants to come to America and own their own business. Is that an American dream too? To be your own boss?
I would say it's a big percentage.
That's an American dream. I didn't even thought about that until you brought it.
I think in this generation, it is.
Being your own boss. Not necessarily just having a big business, but you see these entrepreneurs now, YouTubers, Instagram models. They're making money. They're living the American dream, doing stuff that they want. That's a big concept here. And I think the only United States could do that. I don't know if you could make money out there in other countries, but the United States it's all about money. So you can make a living off YouTube videos. I'll tell you, you can make a living off being an Instagram model.
You could reinvent yourself.
Yeah. So it's very well and kicking out here in the United States when it comes to becoming an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. But see, I guess if you want to be your own boss, by all means, be your own boss. But I just think, just the American dream itself. What other aspect of the American dream do we have out there other than being your own boss, having an education, your job, the privileges of living in the United States.
Well, some people, the American dream, it really depends on the individual.
Yeah.
Okay, so right here it's just two opinions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure if there'll be more people, we'll be able to elaborate more.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming to some people, the American dream is simply have a stable job.
Yeah.
You know, not necessarily owning a home, but just a roof over their heads.
Yeah.
And being able to live their day-to-day life.
Just be happy, I think, at the end of the day.
Yes. To some people, the American dream is to find that joy that they don't have. To some people, the American dream is money.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a big part of it. I think the majority, it's just not me. I'm not a big money guy. I mean, I want to live comfortable. But yes, money has a lot to do with having the American dream.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming here and having that big house. I said a house. Some people want a lot of money. And I think it's only here in America. Well, not only in America, but that's the American dream. You work hard enough, you get enough money, or you make enough money, and you're going to get that big house. That's what we want. We want the big house. We want the big cars. It's the American dream, I think. Only in America you live like that. I don't think you promote it in Europe like that. I think that's one of the reasons we are like that, because I think, are we the only ones with credit out here? Like with credit card?
No.
Europe has credit card?
Yeah. I mean, I think each country has a credit.
Okay.
They offer credit.
I don't know anything about other countries. The reason I say that is because I think the United States is the only country that lives above our means.
No, I don't think so.
Really? I think we're number one, I think.
Well, for sure, we're the biggest show-offs.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I think Europe is right behind us, if not before us.
Really?
Yes.
I always thought that they live to live, they work to live, where we work to sustain a lifestyle here in the United States. Maybe it's just like that in the big cities, I think. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know, but I just feel like it really just depends on the individual.
Really?
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, some of the other issues here in the United States with having the American dream.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and define the American dream according here to Google. So, American dream, the ideal by which equality of opportunity is available to any American, allowing the highest aspirations and goals to be achieved. That's the definition of the American dream. So in all honesty, it just depends on the individual, how he or she perceives
the American dream.
The American dream.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get that. It could be from the smallest thing to the biggest thing.
But look what it says. I love the first sentence. The ideal by which equality of opportunity is available to an American.
So it's the opportunity that you have here in the United States.
Exactly. Allowing the highest aspirations and goals to be achieved.
So if you get the opportunity to achieve your goals.
The highest goals.
Yeah, the highest goals.
Of your dreams.
Yeah. Well, that's what we want. That's what, like, going back to what we were talking earlier about having just the opportunity to work or having the opportunity.
And that's what the immigrant people are looking for.
Yeah.
In this country. This is a beautiful country.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's one of the reasons we became America, the land of all immigrants. Now, let's stay on that topic, because how do you feel about, maybe it's not the American dream or being an American, but how do you feel about, you hear it all the time, where America is made of a different, God, I don't even know what the word, different backgrounds, different languages, different cultures. Everybody's gonna have a different view of the American dream or of being American. How do you feel when you hear other people's flags out here? I don't even know if that's part of the topic, but I just wanted to bring it up. They're very proud of where they come from, and yet they put up a certain flag. Is that a right? I don't know. Have you ever seen that?
Wait, I think I'm understanding you. You're saying, is it right or wrong or is it part of, or is it even part of the American dream? For instance, you that you're not born here,
Yeah.
you wave the El Salvador flag.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Well, we are in the land of the free, so you could wave that flag. But in all honesty, you should be waving the United States flag because
Yeah.
it's the country that's giving you the opportunity to be here.
Yeah, that's pretty funny, eh?
So,
That'd be-
so go ahead and wave both flags. Why not?
yeah. I'm an American. So I have the American dream inside me. I'm very Americanized, believe it or not.
You are, even though you were born in El
I'm very
Salvador, but
Americanized.
you're
I have,
very Americanized.
but I still don't forget where I came from.
That's true.
I would love to help these people that struggle, that want to live the American dream. Who am I to stop them? And that's why it's hard to see these raids on the raids that ICE is doing. I mean, we live in Southern California, so you're seeing more and more of these ICE raids everywhere. It's hard to see that because I think we live in a populated, very populated area in LA filled with undocumented people around us. And the majority of them are hardworking people, but very kind. Some of them. The majority, I say the majority of them. But it would be hard for me to just stand and look at these people get arrested or deported. It sucks because they have families.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot of family. They got kids. It's hard, man. The kids, that's all they know is living in the United States. That's all they know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry that I'm rambling, but that's how hard it is for me. And not everybody sees it that way. Not everybody. And it sucks. I know it sucks. You know, I have this I have this soft heart for them. But I feel about the raids going on.
Very disturbing to look at. I mean, I just don't understand how one person has the heart to make a phone call and say, hey, listen, my neighbor over here, I think, or I know they are undocumented people. And then next thing you know, ICE is knocking on the door. And then just for the people out there that are listening to this podcast, know your rights. Make sure, you don't get intimidated that fast by them.
Yeah.
Make sure they have a warrant. Is it a warrant? They have to come with a warrant?
That I don't know.
With the court, by the court?
Yeah.
Don't just open the door and get turned in yourself. I mean, you have your own rights too.
Yeah. Well, let's go back and talk about our final thoughts on the American dream because, like we said earlier, it's a touchy subject. Touchy. I'm gonna talk about it's really touchy.
Very sensitive.
Yeah, and this is what's great about America. You come here broke as hell, and you can make your American dream come true. What it means to have the American dream, I don't know. It all depends on the beholder and the eye of the beholder. The person that gets those opportunities. You could be dead broke. You come here and win the lottery. You come here and become a famous actor or whatever. Get a real good paying job. Travel the world. Become a professional football player. Whatever you want to be in the United States. And I think that's what I love about the American dream. You can be whatever you want. You don't have to go to school. And you can still make a living off working at Target or Walmart. You can still make a living, believe it or not.
Yeah, you could move up the rank.
Yes.
Start from the bottom and move up and be a very good leader.
Yeah. You go to school, you go to the educational route, become a doctor.
Or if it's not you,
a lawyer.
Maybe your children. You could give the opportunity to your children.
Yes. Your kids, that's what we want. I think that's, as a parent, the American dream is to see our kids, or at least for me, I want to see my kids
do better than you.
Yes, to have a great life. I don't even know how to put it in, but if you're a parent, you know what I mean. Where it comes, you want to put your kids in a great world. I want to say you want to shelter them from evil or from criminals. So I get when people tell me, man, I don't want these criminals coming over to our country. I don't even know how to say that because there's criminals all over, not only immigrants. But
for sure,
yeah, that's the American dream. You can come here and be anything you want. You could be here. You can become a UFC fighter, be a teacher, be anything you want. get a house, work on a car, whatever you want. Whatever you want, you could be here. Make money off YouTube. I don't know what other countries that become a gamer. Become a gamer. I become like your parents. I mean, like your mom. Become a business owner. Get a big house.
Yeah, you could, get your certification in cosmetology or a barber and open your own shop.
Yeah, your own business, your own restaurant, whatever you want, anything you want. That's the American dream. You could be an athlete. You could do whatever you want. I think that's for me. That's the American dream. You could come here and do whatever you want. Leave politics to the side, and you could do pretty much anything here, as long as you work for it. And then those people that have it easier. Some people have it easy, but yet they still live the American dream. They work hard, and then there's people that don't have nothing. They come from nothing, and boom, they make something of themselves, and they are the embodiment of the American dream.
Are you gonna talk about the language?
The language barrier, or okay, well, since we're talking about that, what is? I guess this is gonna be our final thought. America, what is the official American language?
Nothing, because it's every language, because America is based on all the, it's a multicultural.
It's a melting pot of many languages, cultures.
Different culture in different countries.
Yeah. So how does that make you feel when somebody tells you, man, talk English?
Fuck
you're in America.
Go fuck yourself.
It sucks. I mean, it's hard to hear that, man.
Yeah, it is hard to hear that.
It's hard to hear that.
But then again, you are in America. You do want to prosper here. And you guys, honestly, please don't take offense to this, but you have to meet halfway.
Yeah.
You have to educate yourself and learn the language as well.
Okay, but
the same way right now I feel that they are what is it called? The country alone, I feel.
Yeah.
They are incorporating Spanish, because Spanish, it will eventually outrule English.
Yeah.
But still, the same way that gringos and Asians, take the time to learn Spanish, the same way my Hispanic people needs to educate themselves and at least learn the basics.
Okay, I understand that. But when it comes to, hey, if I'm standing in line to order a burger and I'm just having a conversation behind somebody in Spanish, I could do that.
For sure.
Because those are the videos you see where people are standing in line and they're just talking Spanish, and then somebody turns around.
An asshole comes and says
something rude, like talk English, you're in America. What the hell does that mean?
If I would be a guy, I would punch them in the face.
Okay, see, but that's where it's iffy, because I get the fact that, hey, if you're at work, if you want to talk Spanish, you got to know both. You got to. If you're at work or whatever. But when you're out and about, come on, where do you see that? I've never heard. You don't see videos where Asians are talking and you hear a guy, hey, talk American. You don't hear that very often, but you hear it a lot towards the people that are talking Spanish, or so the videos I see.
Yeah, it's very, yeah. There's this show called The Real, and Adrian, one of the hosts, Adrian, she mentioned that. What is it with people that they see Spanish like less than? When people say or hear French or Italian or Tagalog or whatever language other than Spanish, it's like, oh, it's beautiful. Yeah. Oh, talk to me. But it's Spanish, and they're like, ugh. Yeah. Like it's like they see it less than. No, speaking Spanish is very beautiful.
Yes.
It's a very beautiful language.
I think it has to do a lot with politics in that aspect. It has something to do with politics, and has something to do with the way the media portrays illegal immigrants, and
they're just two faces, because we're in the summer, right?
Yeah.
And I bet you not everybody and their mamas are visiting. The closest tropical place right here is Mexico.
Yeah.
Beautiful country. I really want to. I wish I could go and visit Mexico from like head to toe one day. But I bet you they're out there. Tijuana, Cancun,
Yeah.
Puerto Vallarta, Rosarito, Acapulco.
Yeah.
It's the number one spot that they go and they visit los gringos and everybody else and their mamas.
Yeah.
Hypocrites. But then
You know, that's a good points that you point out there. What is it about Spanish people that like you said, there's other languages here in the United States, and you hear it all the time. Specifically here in LA, where you hear it, like you said, all those languages you mentioned, from Chinese, Tagalog, Spanish, everything. You hear everything here. But when it comes to the Spanish language,
it's like they see us as trash.
yes, and I think it has something to do with the media, because you don't see the news outlet when people are getting off the boat. you don't see do you see cameras out there in the northern side of the borders? No, they're out here in the southern states. The southern border is where the Central American people are coming through. Mm-hmm. There's not the only port of entry here. Mm-hmm. We're not and that's where I say it has something to do with the way the news outlets are portraying us also. Mm-hmm. And the way the politicians use us as well.
Yes.
For their political
campaigns.
Yes, and views and all that stuff. And it sucks because now you see a lot of hate, man. And I don't know, but God, you see it more often. We're just being kind of divided almost. Mm-hmm. Luckily, I live in California, where they're I think most people here are very
open-minded.
Yeah, very open-minded. California is very open-minded. I'm yet to have met a person that you see online like that or whatever. You see the videos that are happening like this, but maybe I'm telling you. Luckily for me, I live in LA, where there's many cultures here. Maybe I'm lucky on that aspect.
Yeah, but it's so sad to even see our own people, Hispanics, like thinking they're better than other Hispanics.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Look at yourself in the mirror.
Now that you brought that up, I think Hispanics are the only ones that hate on each other.
Instead of helping, be united, you're like, I don't know. It's just, again, it's a very sensitive subject. And I'm not here to insult anybody.
I'm going to bring it up. I think that will be probably the last thing, where other cultures help each other when they come to this country. Have you noticed that? They help each other, from Asians to they stick like this together. Mm-hmm. They learn the language. They get homes together. They all live in a home, and they all get their own proper home. They live the American dream. They help each other grow as Americans here and prosper in America. Mm-hmm. Where Hispanics, I'm sorry to say, but we hate on each other.
Most.
Yeah, most. Not everybody.
Yeah,
not everybody, yes.
Yeah.
But you hear it all the time. Like, instead of being happy for me, you're like, goddamn drug dealer.
Yeah, it's like, oh, Gus is rolling up with a new car. What type of other side job does he have now?
Right? What or something like that. It's like you see it here a lot. You hear it a lot. Hispanics are just hater. We hate on each other all the time. Oh, look at that guy with his brand new car. Goddamn drug dealer. Or this guy. Oh, his chick is doing the work for him.
Yeah. Or like, let's say if we would purchase a home right now.
Yeah.
Oh, instead of congratulating us, they'd probably be like, oh, Heidi's mom probably paid for it.
Or that house, you could have gotten better.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
I don't know what it is with our culture that
you got that house. That's a whack ass house.
That's it. It sucks. Why can't we be like other cultures, very united? And some of us are united, but the majority. But you see it very often.
We have seen and experienced. That's what we're talking about.
No, it's general, man. You talk to Hispanics, we haters, man. We haters. That's the way it is. I don't know why. Why can't we just stick together? Mm-hmm. But yet, even amongst Hispanics, we hate on different types of countries, even though we're Hispanics. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
We're Salvadorians. We're this. We're that. We're whatever. We hate on each other, and it sucks. But people from other countries, when they come to the United States, they help each other to succeed and to move forward and to live a better life. It's basically living the American dream, and they help each other out. Where Hispanics are not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
We're not doing that, and it sucks. God damn it. That's it. I think final thoughts, Heidi. Right before we leave, we're just gonna leave it there. Just a little bit of with that thought process there. I'm not even gonna say anything. What do you think, Heidi? Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. I would say do in the future, is there, like, for our kids, for instance,
Yeah.
will they have an American dream,
I hope so.
or is the American dream slowly dying out?
I hope not. That's your final thought. So you're leaving us with a question.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is my final thoughts. I hope the American dream is not dead. I don't think it is. I hope not. I hope the school system gets better because everybody wants an education. I hope the immigration issues get fixed because there are some good people coming from other countries. It's not what you see on the news, but our president says it is. I hope not. And I just hope that people that are down and out, that you're never down and out, man. You could just find yourself a job and work yourself to a better life here in the United States. This is the only country you could do that. You could work from the bottom and work all your way up. This is the only country, man. I'm sorry. So I guess that's my final thoughts. Work hard, live hard, play hard. Hell yeah. And ride hard. Yeah. So yeah, I'm living the American dream. I love it. I live it. I don't take it for granted like some people. Like Heidi said, it's the chances that you get in this country that make this country the greatest out here, or the greatest country at all. That's why everybody wants to come here. Everybody, no matter what, they talk so much smack about America, and yet they want to come here. So that's my final thoughts. Live the American dream. I am. And this is Gus with Heidi. Thank you, Heidi, for coming on.
You're welcome.
This is the Everything Goes podcast, guys. Catch us on Instagram and the Everything Goes podcast, Apple Podcast. Leave a message, leave a like, Google Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, and that's it. Hope you guys like it. I know it's a little controversial topic, and we could keep on talking about immigration and stuff, but that's the way it is. And that's it. Thank you, Heidi. And I guess, guys, we'll see you next time.